Welcome to the land down under. Hey everybody, Rigo here. Listen, I'm telling you, if you're looking for adventure, look no further than Australia. And I'm not talking about that crocodile hunter stuff, although they do have things that can kill you, but this place is incredible. We're talking stunning beaches, vibrant cities, and enough natural wonders to make your head spin faster than a dingo in a ceiling fan factory. So buckle up, because in this video, we're taking you on a whirlwind tour of the 10 places you absolutely positively cannot miss. Trust me, after watching this, you'll be saying g'day to a travel agent and see you later to your boring old life. And hey, if you're enjoying the ride so far, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more awesome content, and ring that little bell thingy so you don't miss out on future adventures. Alright, let's get this Aussie adventure started. First up, we're diving headfirst into the crown jewel of Australia, the Great Barrier Reef. Now I know what you're thinking. Jimmy, I've seen Finding Nemo, I get it, it's a reef. But trust me folks, this is no ordinary reef. We're talking about the largest coral reef system on the planet. This underwater wonderland is so massive, you can actually see it from space. That's right, astronauts are up there eating their freeze-dried ice cream, looking down at this Technicolor masterpiece. It's home to over 1,500 species of fish, sharks that make the ones in Jaws look like guppies, and enough coral to make you think you've stumbled into a psychedelic dream. And speaking of dreams, imagine this, you, me, and a couple of scuba tanks exploring this underwater paradise. We'll swim with sea turtles, dodge giant clams, and maybe even teach a clownfish a thing or two about stand-up comedy. But seriously folks, the Great Barrier Reef is more than just a pretty face. It's a vital ecosystem that needs our protection. So, if you ever get the chance to visit this natural wonder, remember to be respectful, don't touch the coral, and maybe pack an extra pair of swim trunks because you're gonna need them. Next up, we're heading to the land of Oz, I mean Sydney. And listen, Sydney is like that friend who's good at everything. They're athletic, they're smart, they've got great hair, and they always know how to have a good time. Of course, no trip to Sydney is complete without a selfie in front of the Sydney Opera House. This architectural marvel looks like a giant stack of white dishes designed by a team of architects who were hopped up on espresso and imagination. It's so iconic, they even put it on the postcards. But Sydney's not just about fancy buildings, folks. This city's got personality for days. You can stroll through the historic Rocks district, grab a bite to eat at a harborside restaurant, or catch a ferry to one of Sydney's many stunning beaches. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can even climb the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Just try not to look down. And hey, speaking of looking down, have you ever seen a kangaroo wearing a tiny hat? Me neither, but I bet they've got them in Sydney. This city's got it all. Alright folks, buckle up because we're about to get spiritual. We're heading to the heart of Australia, to a place so sacred, so ancient, so downright awe-inspiring, it'll make you want to hug a koala. I'm talking about Uluru, baby. Now I know what you're thinking, Jimmy, it's just a big rock. And yeah, okay, it's a big rock, but it's not just any rock, it's like the Beyoncé of rocks. It's majestic, it's got presence, and it's been around for millions of years. This sandstone monolith rises up out of the desert like a giant red beacon, and trust me, it's even more impressive in person. But Uluru is more than just a pretty face. For the Anangu people, the traditional owners of the land, Uluru is a sacred site, a place of deep spiritual significance. It's their history, their culture, their connection to the land, all rolled into one giant red rock. So, if you ever get the chance to visit Uluru, remember to be respectful. Take a guided tour, learn about the local culture, and maybe even catch a sunset over the rock. Trust me, it's an experience you'll never forget. Chapter 4. Melbourne, where the coffee's strong and the accents are stronger. G'day, mates! We're headed to Melbourne, the cultural capital of Australia, where the coffee is strong, the street art is even stronger, and the accents? Well, let's just say there's something else. Melbourne is like that friend who always knows the coolest new band, the best hidden speakeasy, and the latest underground art exhibit. They're effortlessly cool, effortlessly stylish, and they make you feel like you're in on all the best-kept secrets. We're talking about a city where you can wander down hidden laneways and discover quirky cafes, vintage shops, and street art that'll blow your mind. A city where you can catch a live music show any night of the week, from indie rock to jazz to didgeridoo death metal. Okay, I made that last one up, but you get the idea. And let's not forget about the coffee. Melbourne takes their coffee seriously, folks. We're talking about baristas who can craft a latte that looks like a work of art, and coffee that'll put hair on your chest. Not really, but it's strong. So, grab a flat white, put on your most ironic t-shirt, and get ready to explore the hidden gems of Melbourne. Just don't ask anyone to say Melbourne again, they've heard it all before. Chapter 5. The Gold Coast Sun, Sand, Surf, and Sharks. Just kidding, mostly. Alright, all you beach bums and sun worshippers, this one's for you. We're headed to the Gold Coast where the beaches are golden, the waves are pumping, and the only thing more plentiful than bikinis is sunscreen. Imagine this, you, me, and a couple of cold ones, soaking up the sun on a beach that stretches as far as the eye can see. We'll catch some waves, build sandcastles that would make Michelangelo jealous, and maybe even spot a celebrity or two, or at least pretend to. But the Gold Coast is more than just a pretty beach. This place is an adrenaline junkie's paradise. We're talking about theme parks that'll make your head spin, water parks that'll leave you drenched and exhilarated, and enough adventure activities to keep you busy for a lifetime. So, slap on some sunscreen, grab your surfboard, and get ready for some fun in the sun on the Gold Coast. And hey, if you see a shark, just tell it Jimmy sent you. It'll be fine. Probably. Chapter 6. Kangaroo Island. Where the kangaroos outnumber the people, and the koalas are adorable. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're headed to Kangaroo Island, a place where the wildlife is wilder, the scenery is more stunning, and the only thing more abundant than kangaroos is, well, more kangaroos. This island is like a zoo without fences, a wildlife sanctuary where you can get up close and personal with some of Australia's most iconic animals. We're talking about kangaroos hopping across the road, koalas chilling in eucalyptus trees, and sea lions basking in the sun on pristine beaches. But Kangaroo Island is more than just a giant petting zoo, although let's be honest, that's pretty awesome. This island is also home to some of the most dramatic coastal scenery in Australia. We're talking about rugged cliffs, hidden coves, and rock formations that look like they were sculpted by the gods themselves. So, pack your hiking boots, grab your binoculars, and get ready for an adventure on Kangaroo Island. Just be careful not to step on a koala, those little guys are sneaky. Chapter 7. The Great Ocean Road, the most scenic road trip this side of the outback. Start your engines, folks, because we're about to embark on one of the most epic road trips on the planet. The Great Ocean Road. This is the kind of road trip that makes you want to blast classic rock, roll down the windows and sing along at the top of your lungs, even if you don't know the words. The Great Ocean Road is 150 miles of pure coastal bliss, winding its way along dramatic cliffs, through lush rainforests, and past some of the most breathtaking ocean views you've ever seen. We're talking about turquoise waters, crashing waves, and rock formations that look like they were plucked straight out of a fantasy novel. And speaking of rock formations, you can't miss the 12 Apostles. These towering limestone stacks rise up out of the ocean like giant natural skyscrapers, and they're a sight you won't soon forget. Just don't get too close to the edge, those waves can be sneaky. So pack your bags, grab your road trip buddies, and get ready for an unforgettable journey along the Great Ocean Road. Just remember to bring a camera, because you're going to want to capture every moment of this epic adventure. Chapter 8. The Whitsunday Islands, where the sand is white, the water is clear, and the cocktails are fruity. Aloha, everyone. Just kidding, we're not in Hawaii, but the Whitsunday Islands are about as close as you can get without needing a passport. Unless you're not Australian, then you might need a passport. Picture this. 74 tropical islands, each one more beautiful than the last, scattered across the turquoise waters of the Coral Sea. We're talking about white sandy beaches that stretch for miles, crystal clear water that's perfect for swimming, snorkeling, and diving, and enough palm trees to make you think you've stumbled onto a deserted island, except for the luxury resorts, of course. And speaking of luxury resorts, the Whitsundays are home to some of the most exclusive and romantic getaways in the world. We're talking about private villas perched on cliffs overlooking the ocean, infinity pools that seem to disappear into the horizon, and enough champagne to make even the most jaded traveler feel like royalty. So, pack your swimsuit, grab your sunscreen, and get ready for a taste of paradise in the Whitsunday Islands. And hey, if you see a Hemsworth brother wandering around, tell them Jimmy says g'day. Chapter 9. Tasmania, the island at the bottom of the world that's full of surprises. Alright folks, we're heading south, way south, to the island state of Tasmania. Now I know what you're thinking. Tasmania? Isn't that where the Tasmanian devils live? And yeah, okay, they've got Tasmanian devils, but they're not the terrifying monsters you see in the cartoons, although you probably shouldn't get too close. Tasmania is like Australia's little secret, a hidden gem tucked away at the bottom of the world. It's a land of rugged mountains, pristine wilderness, charming towns, and a surprisingly vibrant food and wine scene. We're talking about hiking trails that wind their way through ancient forests, national parks that are home to some of the world's rarest and most endangered species, and seafood so fresh, it'll make you want to slap your mama. But please don't, violence is never the answer. So, pack your hiking boots, grab your appetite and get ready for an adventure in Tasmania. Just watch out for those Tasmanian devils, they're always up for a good time, especially if that good time involves stealing your picnic basket. Chapter 10, The Blue Mountains, where the views are breathtaking and the hiking trails will leave you breathless. Last but not least, we're headed to the Blue Mountains, a place where the scenery is so stunning it'll make you want to write poetry, or at least take a whole bunch of Instagram photos. Imagine this, you, me, and a picnic basket full of Aussie goodies, perched on a cliff top overlooking a vast expanse of eucalyptus forests. The air is filled with the scent of eucalyptus and the sound of kookaburras laughing in the distance. And as the sun begins to set, the entire valley is bathed in a magical blue haze. But the Blue Mountains are more than just a pretty view. This place is a hiker's paradise with trails ranging from easy strolls to challenging climbs. We're talking about waterfalls cascading down sheer cliffs, ancient rock formations that look like they were sculpted by giants, and enough fresh air to cure even the worst case of city smog inhalation. So, pack your hiking boots, grab your camera, and get ready for an unforgettable adventure in the Blue Mountains. Just remember to bring plenty of water, those trails can be thirsty work. Outro, so what are you waiting for? Book your trip to Australia today. And there you have it folks, the 10 must-visit places in Australia. From the Great Barrier Reef to the Blue Mountains, this country has something for everyone. So, what are you waiting for? Book that trip, pack your bags, and get ready for an adventure you'll never forget. And hey, if you happen to bump into a kangaroo wearing a tiny hat, tell him Jimmy says g'day. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more awesome travel content, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, mates!